Hello everyone. Some of my wonderful viewers have very lovingly reminded me that there are a few decks that I still have not done full reviews on. Actually, more than a few, but there's at least a few that we're going to start tackling today so we can shorten that list of decks that I haven't done full reviews of for you all. We're going to start today with the Telezma Tarot created by Cochrane. And I did an unboxing with you all because she did send this deck for me to take a look at and then share my thoughts on. And so today I'm going to go into how I've been using it to work with the deck in regards to readings and witchcraft. And I'm going to share a little bit more about the deck in case you're still on the fence with purchasing it. Now, at this moment, her Etsy shop is on a short break, but you can still purchase the deck from other shops online that carry indie decks. However, I am going to post the link to her Etsy shop because I'm sure she will be back very soon, and then you can purchase the deck there if you prefer to purchase it directly with her. And I'm going to read the description here that's on her site for you so that if you haven't seen my unboxing of the deck, you have an understanding of the type of deck that it is before I start showing it to you. So the Telezma Tarot is a wild, unconventional, dreamy tarot deck made with love, knowledge, magic, paper, scissors, and glue. All the images were created in the medium of handmade collage. The deck consists of 78 cards as well as 2 title cards for a total of 80. The 2 title cards could be used as extra sun and moon cards if so desired. So, and then she talks a little bit about the type of cardstock used. So if you're a cardstock geek, then you will probably enjoy reading about that on her Etsy shop. And there is, of course, a small booklet included, and there was originally a Kickstarter campaign to get this deck going back in the day. So it goes without saying that you're probably going to want to enjoy collage work if you want to bring this deck into your practice. And that being said, I'm going to get into final thoughts on the deck and how I've been using it with readings. It is priced at, on her Etsy shop, $74.78. I did see that when I was doing some research online, there was an indie shop that had the deck for $90. So you're going to pay a little bit more if you're going through an indie shop. But, you know, it's a reasonable price for an independently created and produced deck. And I just want to give you a comparison for card size. Here's Rider-Waite-Smith. And then here's the Telezma deck. It's got beautiful gold gilding on the edges. And if you know me, you'll know that I love this backing. It's like everything that I love right there. So I'm going to show you some of the imagery and talk about how I've been using the deck. So you can absolutely work with this deck as a traditional tarot deck, and it definitely does lend itself well for readings. I have used this deck so far outside of my own personal work with one other client and had a really beautiful reading with that client. So I do think it's a deck that likes to work with others. But I've really found it to be very helpful for, number one, of course, as always, you know, I'm going to say daily draws to journal with the cards. The collage work is really nice because it kind of gives you an opportunity to like you might see something in the imagery, like here's 10 of coins and we've got this house and the fountain, and then there's jewelry and there's this stately woman. But we've also got like these other underpinnings here. Like there's a hat, if you notice that as you look at it. You know, there's like all these little pieces you start to notice with the collage work that really ends up, you know what? I thought it was a hat and it's actually a warrior. Look at that. So see, even just as I'm discussing it with you, like there's all these different nuances that come through as you're staring at the collage work that really gives you an opportunity to kind of journal or like let your mind, your imagination, your intuition take you on a different, like down a different path than you would traditionally associate the Rider-Waite-Smith meaning with the deck. So the artist says she's been working with tarot since she was 13. So she definitely has a strong structure in Rider-Waite-Smith. I think you also see references to the Thoth system here as well. So you've got a lot of beautiful tarot nuance just from the artist's history with tarot to pull from as you are working with the imagery. But it's really great for journaling, for daily draws. I also actually really like it for any type of spell crafting or ritual work you might want to do around Sabbats or Espits, or just if it's a time period in your life that you want to honor, lay to rest, welcome something new in. This is a really beautiful deck for that type of work especially. I've really enjoyed it for spell crafting or ritual work. Now, you certainly don't have to use the deck for that. So if you're someone who's not engaging in that type of thing, it's not like this won't be a deck for you. It's an absolutely beautiful tarot deck for divination. But if you're someone who kind of likes to really create their own ritual work and spellcraft work, and likes to gather your spiritual tools kind of in, you know, organic ways, the way that I do, the collage work in this deck really mirrors that beautifully. So like I have found, for the way that I have my altar set up and how I bring in my magical tools, the deck kind of has a good feel with that. Like it works really well with that. So I've primarily been enjoying this in regards to meditation, ritual work, and spellcraft work on my altar and within my altar space, I should say. So if you are looking at the deck, in that regards, it also opens up a whole nother avenue to work with this deck. And I think that this deck lends itself very, very well to that. So if you feel called to bring that into your practice and the artwork in this deck speaks to you in that way, I think you will really enjoy it for that. The cardstock is amazeballs. Like this is the kind of cardstock that I want when I invest in a deck. It's really, really good quality cardstock. The gilding is delicious. I'm about to show you an image with nudity. There's definitely nudity with you know, throughout this deck, so be aware of that. But the cardstock is just delicious, and I can tell it's one of those decks that, as with any deck, if you take care of it, it's really going to last you for a long time. So it's an investment piece, but it's also going to stand the test of time for you. So I recommend this deck. If you like collage work, you're really going to like this deck. I think if you're someone who enjoys Serpent Fire Tarot, oh guys, help me, oh, She-Wolf Tarot, if you like the Moonchild Tarot, but you want to go more of a deep saturated jewel tone focus than the kind of Danielle Knoll like pastels, this is going to give you that. It's going to give you like the saturated kind of divine masculine side to that. And in no way am I saying that the artist was copying or anything like that. It just feels that way to me. It feels like it's a really nice dovetailing that ends up happening with a deck like the Moonchild Tarot in this deck. So I think if you are drawn to the artwork and you like those type of decks that feel kind of atmospheric in their energy, then you're really going to enjoy working with this deck. I definitely recommend it. And like I said, I recommend it especially if you want to bring it into like ritual work, spell crafting work, any part of your practice in that way. Maybe you want to be meditating with cards, visualizing, perhaps you're working on manifesting based on certain card meanings, etc., and you want that like laid out on your altar for a period of time to meditate with, then this type of imagery can be something that's really fun to step into and explore. I mean, look at that Queen of Swords. It's kind of perfect. So I'll show you a few more images. And then I would also say to you, when it comes to tarot spreads, I really like this one for like 3 and 5 card spreads especially. And I like to clarify with a mini tarot deck. So I've got the mini steampunk here. So I've been enjoying clarifying with a mini steampunk. It's such a fun deck. I mean, come on, like if you're a collector and you enjoy collage artwork, you're gonna want this on your list. You're gonna want this stuff on your list. And like I said, the cardstock quality is beautiful. For the price, I think it's definitely worth it. I mean, look at that. You know, it's like, it's one of those decks that I can shuffle it all I want and it's not warping. And I know someone told me that the warping happens based on humidity in your house, but I have to say that like my True Black, my Telezma, my She-Wolf, all of the, my Murder of Crows even, like I have all those decks on my altar out and I shuffle them all the time and they don't warp, but my, it's not Low Scarabeo, like my Star Dragons Oracle, and the Unicorns Oracle in that same series, those decks warp like crazy. So I don't know if it's really the humidity, because like this deck's been out on my main altar downstairs and it hasn't warped at all. So I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. You guys let me know what you think down below. But Telezma Tarot, I highly recommend, especially if you like collage artwork. If you don't enjoy chaotic artwork that kind of blows your brain a little bit, then you're probably not going to enjoy working with this deck. But if you're someone who does enjoy that type of artwork and who wants to be pushed a little in regards to traditional tarot meanings, I think you're going to find a really beautiful sweet spot with this deck. I want to say thank you to the artist who sent this deck for me to review. She knew when she sent it and was fully aware I was going to give a completely honest review. And this is my honest opinion of this deck. I really, really like this deck. And like I said, especially like it for any type of altar work. There's just something about the artwork that really resonates for me with that. So this has been my full review of the Telezma Tarot. Thank you guys for joining me. This is like a Tuesday tarot review day, I feel, guys. Maybe I'm going to make that a thing. We'll have to see. Anyhow, I'm sending you all so much love and many blessings. I'll see you in the next video.